Welcome back to Progress Mindset Podcast. We hope that you guys are doing well today. I'm your host, Sophia, and I'm with my co-host, Franz. And I guess we should be saying Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Yes. So, in this episode, we want to dive into plans to have a successful New Year, how to set up your goals for the new year, and really plan and execute and be successful. I know sometimes, people say making resolutions, but do we really stick to resolutions? You know?
Nope, we don't stick to the gym. So,
Right. Exactly.
Maybe some people do.
Yeah. So let's get into it. So, New Year, everyone, New Year, New You. We hear that all the time, right?
Hmm?
But in our, last episode, we spoke about, just not putting so much pressure on yourself for the new year into just thinking like, you're going to do all these things, make all these plans, and you're going to suddenly, between the 31st and the 1st, you become a new person, right? Those are just things set by society, but in all actuality, we're just rolling into another day and another season.
Right.
So to alleviate that pressure from yourself, we're just going to say, how can we elevate in this season in our lives? Not new year, not new month, but in this actual season, this new season of new beginnings in your life.
Right. That's well put.
Yeah.
I like that.
So part of my tradition for myself, I can't remember if I spoke on it last episode or not, but I always end the year with writing down a list of everything that I want to accomplish in the new season and the things that, I want to work on, and just a list of priority things that I want to do. And then in the new year, I find that letter that I write to myself, because I set it and forget it.
Mm-hmm.
Remember that commercial?
Yeah.
So I write a letter, put it in an envelope. You can mail it to yourself, or you could just tuck it somewhere that you just know that you won't be tempted to look. And then I just get that letter in the new year, and then I look over it to see how did I accomplish my goals, and what I need to make progress of. Have my goals changed? Are they still the same? Just things like that is what I do to try to stay focused, because whatever you put in your subconscious, you're working on it every day. That's why it's in the subconscious, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's not in the forefront, but it's in the back of your mind, and you're doing little things to achieve that goal every day. But if I say like, oh, my New Year's resolution is to work out every day, you're gonna fail at some point, right? And then you're gonna feel like a failure. But if you just write down like, goal is to just work on health, work on fitness, and you just make small efforts for that every day or every other day, or just, in between in that goals, say make time to rest, so that if you feel like you're not working out every day, you still are taking time to rest, because at the end of the day, self-care is knowing when to just relax.
Right.
When you don't have to force. When you're forcing yourself, it doesn't feel like a goal anymore. It doesn't feel like you're accomplishing anything. It feels like, you're just doing it, and it's no longer fun.
Correct.
So that's what I do. I have my planner. I bought a big oversized planner. It's probably about 3 feet, 3 by 3.
What?
Yeah, and I'm gonna put it on my wall, or maybe it's 2 feet, 2.5. It's definitely a little wider than 2 feet.
Wow.
so that I could just, because I have this small one and I never even touch it.
This one you have no choice
But
because
if
it's
it's so
boom right in your
big,
face.
I have no choice but to force myself to tackle something a day,
Yeah.
right? Make a plan, even if it's one thing, even if you just write on your board, big bold letters, pray.
Yep.
You're making small goals for bigger wins.
Mm-hmm.
So that's just a little bit of what I do. How about you?
I mean, that sounds really good. I mean, not to jump in before I jump into me. How long you been doing that? As far as like writing a letter to yourself, and because I know you mentioned that before, but I never really asked you how long.
Honestly, I started it about, I want to say 5 years ago. And for me, I'm like, whenever I look back at the letters, I'm amazed. I'm literally amazed how things I even wrote down, I didn't even intentionally go after it. It happened.
Mm.
You know what I mean? And it just goes back to, you know, for those who are religious, if God provides a vision, he's going to provide provision.
Right.
The things that are deep in your heart that you go to sleep at night about, you think about it so hard you could like feel it like it's inexistent. It's there.
Right.
And yeah, they were just things that like I just wrote down, wasn't even working towards it, and then I'm thinking about it every day, and then it would just so happen that I would meet this person, I would see this, I would get this opportunity. And like one of the letters I remember, I think it was 2 years, like it was 2 years prior to this, and I saw it because I still keep them.
Right.
And I was like, oh my God, like it happened, like it happened. Like, for example, last year I wrote down, it was, what did I say? I'm not gonna say like the exact words, but I was just like, be thankful for a new job.
Mm-hmm.
And then I thought about it. I was like, in January, I got like a call for an interview for the job that I have now. And then I was just like, I applied for that in November of the following year.
Right.
So that just had me like, God is real.
Yeah, that just proved that if you want something, and if you want it hard enough, and you put it in the air, you put it out there,
It can happen.
It can happen. It's just a matter of how hard you want it, and are you willing to stick it through? Are you willing to be consistent? And just go for yours. Because sometimes we thirst for things, and then we like, oh, I want this, I want that, and you probably give it like a short period of time and it doesn't happen, and you move on to the next thing. You don't give it enough time, or you don't value it enough, and you just be like, maybe I shouldn't be doing that, like I'm not ready.
Right.
Sometimes because you don't, it's either you don't want it hard enough, or you just let fear cheat you out of that opportunity before you even start. You get scared even before you walk out the door, and that happens to a lot of us. And it's nothing to be ashamed of. It happens to the best of us, to be honest with you. But you can only fix that when you actually realize what you're doing to yourself. Then you got to face that person in the mirror and come into ground and deal with that face to face. So I think the reason why maybe your things that you write in your letter and your goals, they come into reality, is because you work on them. So it's not like you just be like, oh, I'm gonna do this, and then you just wait for things to happen and not put in any work.
Right.
Because a lot of time I can tell that, you working on stuff because you would talk to me, you would say stuff, and you be like, oh, I hope I'm not being annoying. I'm like, no, like, you venting, you letting me know that's actually helping me, grow as well. So, especially if somebody's, talking about important stuff, that's not being annoying. That's just you venting and you just working on it, thinking about it, and not just letting it slide. So, I mean, that is a really good thing. The
Exactly.
letter,
I never even thought about that when you say you venting and it's like you're working on it. I just thought I was complaining.
no, it's you, because if sometimes it feels like that, but it's really not. It's just whatever you want to do bothers you so much to the point where
Mm-hmm.
you just want to talk about it. You want to talk to somebody about it, just to see if things make sense. And be like, yo, girl, shut up and move on. Don't talk about that.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you just waiting to see what people would say, but I can see that it's something that you really want and that you're working on. Because if it wasn't important, you wouldn't be talking about it.
Right.
You would just move past that. But that is very interesting with the letter. Maybe I
Right.
should, maybe I should start doing that.
Yeah. It really worked for me because I was achieving no goals, writing down resolutions. None. You know what I mean? Like, absolutely none. And then another thing that I also had to do is like I had to like train my mindset to just say, I'm working on this, I'm not getting this, right? Instead of working towards it,
Mm-hmm.
work as if I have it. So
Mm.
what that means is, um, for example, right? So I'm just gonna go back to, I don't know, like a job. You know, when you get to the point that you're tired of your job, you feel like you should be doing better, you feel like you should, be further ahead. And
Correct.
you're applying all these jobs, but you're not getting it, right? Maybe God is saying, like, look how you work now. How are you acting for next if you're not even preparing yourself in this season? So just having a mindset of like, okay, I want to be a VP. Let me work like a VP. So when the responsibility comes, I'm already equipped because my mindset has changed, right?
Yes.
So just like I want to, you want to be an entrepreneur, don't wait until you have it. Work every day as if you are running your own business, as if you are, you have your Fortune 500 company. Like, work as if you have it. So when it comes, it's easy,
Yes, you be
right? And
prepared.
you're not shocked. You're already expecting it because you've been working towards it. Not
Yes.
even in the front sense, but in the back end, which really matters the most.
Yes. Yes. And that is 100% correct, because that's what they tell you. It doesn't matter what job you work in. You could be, mopping the floor for years. You do it. You perfect that. Put your name on it. Do it to your best ability, because what you're doing now, you know what I mean,
Mm-hmm.
is it plays a big part towards what you're gonna do in the future. Just because that's what you're currently doing doesn't mean that's your end goal. So
Right.
you gotta like.
She used to always tell me that, and I never used to like understand. Like, she'd always be like, you better learn how to clean this small place if you want a house one day. And I always be like, no, because when I get a house, then I'm gonna learn how to clean. But that's backwards.
Yeah, it is backwards, because when you get a new house now, like, oh man, this house is so big. I'm
Yeah,
gonna
you're
have
gonna
to.
be overwhelmed. You gotta be faithful in the small,
Mm-hmm.
faithful in the now, because you'll never get to where you're going if you even can't even handle where you are right now.
Absolutely, you gotta. And that goes for everything. It goes for bills. It goes for lifestyle. Everything. That is a strong, strong, strong point. And you are absolutely right, because we hear those things. People tell you those things, but you don't really fully understand it until you start living it. Until you really, really sit down and think about it. That's like one of the things that I had to like back, a couple of years back. I had to really think about it. I'm like, doesn't matter what I'm doing. I'm just gonna do it, do my best. Because you know how sometimes people used to see you at work, you know, like your friends and stuff like that, especially when you're young. Like, oh, why you working so hard? You know, why you doing that? It's not your business. I mean, that's not your company. You know, it's okay. You know, nobody's watching. You know, just chill. But you know, deep in your heart, you just know that you here to you sign up for something, and you here to exchange your you know your talents. You here to present your talent to this up to this workplace to help them stay afloat. Because even though you know you're not the main person, but the little bit that you're doing plays a big part. You might not see it. Maybe you might not get rewarded. It's not highlighted. You know, you're not getting a trophy for it. But at the end of the day, you know, God is watching, and then you know what you're doing. You know that you're doing the right thing. So that plays a very, very big part. So trust me, I understand that, and I get it. I get it. And the more the faster you understand that, you know, the easier it will be for you to, you know, just move on and do better in life in general. And then when you do get to that position, when you do get that house, you will know how to manage it. You will know how to run it, and you will know how to run your own business. Because if you can't be a department manager, how are you gonna be a CEO?
Mm-hmm.
And I'll leave it at that. Yeah, but to go back on the new season of us, you know, just approaching of us starting the new year, like you were saying, to me, it's pretty much the same thing too. You know, I just approach it as a new season, new start, new beginning, as it should be every day. But you know, most of the time we don't really look at it that way. But I'm sure every once in a while you will wake up, you will like, this is a good day. You know, this feels like I'm starting over. Like, you know, that everything is going right. You know, I have an opportunity to make some sparks.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of how the new year is for a lot of people. It just feels like a brand new day, which we have every other day, but it's just, I guess, on a highest and on a bigger scale. But I personally, I have my days when I wake up and I'll just be like, oh wow, thank God, you know, I'm blessed with a new day. I get to start over. You know, I can do anything with this day. I can either be productive, or I can just do what I was doing yesterday, which wasn't as much. So I have my days. I'm not gonna say it's every day, but I have days when I wake up that I feel very, very excited. I'm full of excitement, and I just can't wait to start the day. So, you know, that's kind of how I'm approaching the new year this year.
Mm-hmm.
I'm approaching the year, you know, with like new beginnings, like just basically complete a lot of the things that I left behind as far as like unfinished business. And it's not just from 2023. It's just like, you know, throughout life, you know, stuff that I should have been focused on that I didn't complete, you know, things that I should be learning that I took for granted, um, and just being more committed, because you can't never be too committed to things. There's a lot of stuff in life, especially a lot of important things that you need in your life to elevate. You know, it requires full commitment.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you got to be committed. The word commitment is very, very heavy, and it doesn't only go for relationships. It goes for, you know, a lot more important things in your life, especially when it comes to setting goals and stuff like that. It requires a commitment. You have to commit to it. So you set the goals, and you be like, you know, this is when I want to crush this goal, and then, you know, you made a commitment, and that's what you're gonna do, and you know, and there's nothing else. If things get in the way, you're gonna push it out of the way and just continue. So yeah, this season, that's part of what I'm doing. Just try to be, very focused. Um, and don't be afraid to try new things. Don't be afraid to do new things. Especially like I said, incomplete stuff that that you should have stuff that I should have done before that that I was maybe a little shy to dive into. You know, things that I let fear cheated me out of.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes you just gotta just try to be bold. Just try to just go for it and just believe and don't fail before you attempt, because a lot of time that's what happened. We give up before we even try, because you were like, oh yeah, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, but in the back of your mind you already fail because you already have that conversation with your subconscious mind. You can't fool your subconscious mind. The minute that you think failure, boom, that's it, you fail. So
Mm-hmm.
you have to re-strategize. So that you kind of have to try to not to quit before you start, because a lot of time you be like, I'm gonna start something. Yeah, you know that you're gonna start, but you already know that you're not gonna finish, because right away you thinking failure. You thinking, oh, what if? Oh, what if I fail? Or I'm probably gonna fail. Those, we all do it. So I'm not gonna sit here and try to act like I'm perfect and I don't do that. The reason why I'm bringing that up is because that happens to me too, and it happens to me too many times. So I'm trying to um train my mind, train myself, and have that pet talk with myself to be like, don't quit before you start, because I feel like that happens a lot of times. You doubt yourself, you don't think you're good enough, you don't think it's the right time, you think you have time, which none of us do. We do and we don't. Life is long and life is short at the same time, because
Mm-hmm.
it's long because you could live for over 100 years, but at the same time you can also not live to see tomorrow
Mm-hmm.
or the next minute. So it's like, you don't know. you we don't call the shots. We just blessed enough to be here to to enjoy each other's company, and to set a mark, and to be a manager on this earth. So it's like, while you here, you gotta stay busy. You gotta go to work, because it's not promised. So each day, like we're saying, each day is a new season. Each day is it's a new start. It's a new beginning. It's like another opportunity to put your best foot forward.
Mm-hmm.
So I would say, make make this season, a good one. You know what I mean? Make it a good one. Push yourself to new limits. Push yourself to new limits. I mean, and that's what I want to do. That's what I'm attempted to do too during this season. At the end of the season, I'll tell you guys. We always do. And I'm sure I'm gonna bring these things up again, but like, we usually do the the end of the year wrap up, like where we talk about stuff. This will definitely come up of the things that I attempted, things that I accomplished. So far as a new year, I already accomplished a couple of things. I'm already doing something that I'm very ecstatic about, that I'm very grateful and happy to be doing. So yeah, yes, so it's new beginning.
Yeah, of course. Of course.
Yeah. So I mean, a good more very important to do is like things to do is try to eliminate self-doubts too. Like I'm saying, just try to eliminate that from your brain, because it's a real thing. Having having fear. So you gotta learn to push fear to the side, like just because it's not a real thing. It's just all invented in your head. We was taught not to have fear. but at the end of the day, we all have fears. So like those are the things you got to work on to not have any fears. And me and Afia was just talking about this, like, because like everything you want, you already have it. It's just like you just gotta believe it, and you just gotta ask for it, and you gotta believe in what you're asking for. Believe that you can get it, because if you speak it, I believe that you can get it. If you really really want it, if you really really want it, you can push through and make it happen. So it's just like sometimes we ask for things, and then we want things, but we just so afraid, we're not willing to go for it, because we let fear cheat us out of our success, because we believe like in a false prophet, because it's not a real thing. It's just something that's created in your head. It's a force. It's basically it's a force evidence appear real. So it's not a real thing, but it becomes so powerful to the point where you feel like it is. Like you're like, oh yeah, fear is real, but it's really a bubble that you create
Mm-hmm.
in your head, and then it just becomes so powerful. Sometimes it just controls you. It makes you it cripples you. It makes you feel like you can't do anything. But those are things you got to work on. You got to like try to unattach yourself from that, and try to like move little by little. Start small by pivoting away from self-doubts. You got to start believing in yourself. Believe that you can do things, and in a good way you can begin to get over that is by doing small things. Just try to don't go for crazy heavy goals that that's gonna probably knock you down right away.
Mm-hmm.
So just try to do little things. Oh yeah, I'm gonna read 2 chapters today. Let's say you always wanted to read a book, but every time you get home, you open the book and then you fall asleep. So just have a commitment, like today I'm gonna read a couple of paragraphs. And then let's say if it's the gym, you always wanted to go to the gym, you always wanted to work out. Maybe you can't make it to the gym yet. Maybe you just don't have that confidence yet. You don't feel like, that you ready to go to the gym. Okay, go home, drop on the floor, do a couple push-ups, do a few sit-ups, do some jumping jacks, and that's it. You complete the day. And then tomorrow, you do the same thing. Then eventually you're gonna build that courage, maybe, to step into the gym and just make that a part of your life, of your daily routine. But it's all you just start small. Don't feel like you have to do big things for it to count.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, just make this season the season of results, basically.
Mm. Yeah, like that.
Yeah, that's kind of what I wanted to talk a little bit about. Is we're not really gonna get too heavy. We got all year, right, Fia?
You just said we may have time, we may not, right? You just said that.
Yeah, but you gotta think.
Everything counts.
You think long term, and you think short terms. So you gotta be hopeful. That the Lord will bless us with a
Mm-hmm.
beautiful year. You know what I mean? So you gotta have that attitude as if you do have all year. Then also you also gotta have that attitude that maybe you don't. So, but it's life. It's a beauty,
Mm-hmm.
and you gotta love every part of it, because at the end of the day, you just don't know. You do not know. So it's like you just gotta go for it, and be a good human being. Just be the best that you can. Just try to be a blessing to others, and just don't be selfish, and don't be cruel, because we have enough of that going on. We need pure-hearted people. We need people that's bringing good into this world. Like that's what we need. We need love. We need support. We need kindness. Because at the end of the day, that's what it's all about. You just gotta try to be the best person that you can be. You know, and nobody can ask any better of you if you give your best is all you can give. You know, so somebody live and they give their best. What else can you say about that person?
Right.
They try their best. Maybe if their best wasn't good enough for you, then it is what it is. They give their best. Like there's nothing can can beat that. So I'll say that just this season, this year, just try your best. Try your best to be the best you. And just claim what's yours. Claim what's yours. Oh yeah.
I like that. Claim what's yours. Well, again, don't put in much pressure on yourself. No, think of it as a new season, as a new beginning. Every day is a new beginning.
Mm-hmm.
Eliminate noise, negativity,
Yeah.
and just get more clarity in. Something that's a good read, and it's also like a podcast. Like they have his teachings on a podcast. His name is Neville Goldwyn.
Mm-hmm.
And basically he just teaches the principles of the Bible and applying it to like your dreams and your goals.
Yeah.
Because that's where it all starts, really. It's within.
The book of all books.
Within.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it seems like you were saying before, a lot of books, a lot of things, many things that's been written is just based on the main book, the Bible.
Mm-hmm. The Bible, for sure.
Yeah. So that's definitely a great read.
You know what's a good read that I would just recommend? Just listening to it on your drive home, back and forth. The Mountain Is You. I'm gonna listen to it again.
I read that.
That is such a good motivation. Again, principles of the word applied to real life. And the 50 Cent, his book. I forgot I have to look it up, but like I was listening to that too, like the audio.
Mm-hmm.
And it was actually really good.
Yeah,
Hustle Harder.
Hustle 50 cents.
Mm-hmm. It's really a good listen to, because again, like if maybe like things of motivation does, because everybody has to find what drives them, right?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe someone that's speaking in real life experience, like that's the book for you. She talks about it's not even like street game. It's like, for one example, it was like he was talking about if you're in a boardroom in a meeting, right? Don't be the one that got an idea but is too scared to say it, because you're not gonna get anywhere with it holding it in, right?
Right.
And then you get mad at the person who is speaking up, like, oh, they just kissing up, they doing that. No, they going for what they want. So those are like some of the things like he like talks about and narrates, and it's like, oh wow, who would have thought, right? Who would have thought? But it is a good audio. I didn't get to finish it, but I'm definitely gonna like put that on my list again to listen to.
I read a book too last year. It was by Matthew McFadden. I think that's his name. I think that's how you say his last name. I'm trying to remember the name of his book. It was pretty good too, and he narrated the book too. It was a really, really good. I think what's this actor name? I think his name is Matthew McConaughey.
Yeah, I know. I think I know you're talking about. Yeah, you got the McConaughey.
Yeah, McConaughey.
I don't know. how you describe it, but
Yeah, he had a really good book. I actually listened to the audiobook last year. I'm trying to remember the name of um of the book. Yeah, but that was a good book too. Let me see if I can find it. Yeah, but yeah, when I figure out the name, I'll share it with you guys as well. But the book that Afia recommended is definitely a good book, especially The Mountain Is You. That one definitely. I read that, and I'm gonna read it again because that's the thing, like some of these books you have to read them over. Like the first time you might not get all the jewels. Yeah, so yeah, yep.
all right. So yeah, like we said, new season, not a new year. Keep moving, keep going forward. I hope you guys got some gems out of this, and hopefully you could teach us a few things as well. If you think of all the things that you do to bring in the new year or new season or whatever you call it, feel free to message us, let us know. Um, as always, we're available on social media platforms like follow, subscribe to Progress Mindset Podcast on our YouTube and our Instagram and our Facebook. And hope this season is everything that you hope for. And if it's not, that doesn't mean it's to give up. Sometimes it's not giving up. Sometimes it's just a pivot.
Absolutely.
And that's it.
Oh yeah, his name is Matthew McConaughey, and the book name is Green Lights. Sorry. Green Lights. Yeah, it's a pretty good. That's a pretty good book too. Yeah. Yep. All right. That's all, guys. Take care.
Okay, bye.
Talk to you guys next time. Blessings.